Hi, third graders, and welcome back to another Richmond Math lesson. I'm Mrs. Yeager, and today we're doing day 2 of SOL 315. Our learning target today is I can represent data in a bar graph and interpret the data shown. But first, let's have our joke. What did Woody say to the pencil? Give up? Draw, partner. So silly. The materials you're going to need today are paper or your practice set, pencil, crayon, and maybe some graph paper. Yesterday, we did our lesson using pictographs, and this was what you had to do on your own. You were making a pictograph of this, and you had to add things like the title, and you see here that I have my title is favorite pizza toppings. I had to label pizza toppings and number of votes. And then I had to put in a circle. Each circle represented 10 votes. So for mushrooms, where I see 30 up here, I counted 10, 20, 30. And so you see how I have mine done, and yours should be something like that. Sausage was 25, and I knew that I had to use half of a circle to make that 5. And down at the bottom, the most important thing is my key. So then the question said, which statement is true? And if I counted all of my circles by 10, I could find that 120 people took the survey. The rest of them are wrong. So now let's look at our learning target for today. It says, I can represent data in a bar graph and interpret the data shown. Well, the new thing is a bar graph. So, do you remember this when we were talking about thermometers? And remember, we talked about the difference in the increments, because these increments here are in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. But this thermometer had increments of 2, saying 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Well, that's very similar to my graphs today, because now they're going to call them scale. And so the scale is going to tell me whether I'm counting by 1s, 2s, 5s, or 10s. So let's go on. So look at this with me. I remember this pictograph from yesterday, and it said favorite fruit was the title, right? And then we have fruit and votes. And just for fun, let's write how many. So the apple has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to put a 10 there. And then the pear, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the grapes, 2. And the bananas, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? Because we see that it says 1 vote was a happy face. So now, just like with the pictographs, I need to put in a title. And so the title I'm going to put here is favorite fruits. I also need to label the sides. So this side is the number of votes that are there. And this side is types of fruit. And you see also down in here that I have the special kinds of fruits. Instead of drawing a picture, I actually wrote the word. So there's apples, pears, grapes, and bananas. But now I need to look at the scale. Here, my scale on this side is in 1s. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then up here would have been 11. So for the apples, I'm going to have to go up 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and I'm going to draw a line in there. That shows apples have 10 votes. So pears, we're going to do the same thing. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'm going to color in up to 7. And grapes up to 2, and bananas up to 6. So now I can see how the pictograph kind of looks like my bar graph. And I can still answer questions like, what had the most votes? Apples. And what had the least amount of votes? Grapes. Okay. So what if I take this same data, but this time I have increments of what? 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And I'm going to remember that there are 10 apples and 7 pears and 2 grapes and 6 bananas. Well, still have to put my titles in. Favorite fruits. Still have to put my labels in of the sides. So there's number of votes and types of fruit. And you still see that I have that there. But now I need to see where 10 would be. Well, let's look and let's say this is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So when I color, I have to color up all the way up to here. But I have a problem with pears because I have to get to 7. So 2, 4, 6. If I go up here, that's 8. Too far. So I have to have it kind of in the middle to make it 7. So it looks something like that. Okay? Ooh, let's try grapes. That's going to be right there. And finally, bananas would go there because it's 6, 2, 4, 6. Beautiful. And when I had scale of 1, they're still, in comparison, about the same. So now I want you to look at your practice set and let's go over it together. Read out loud with me. Some students took a survey about their favorite sport. And let's look. We have a sport of soccer, football, basketball, and baseball. And then the number of people. Ooh, I'm seeing tally marks. So you know what? Let's count the tally marks together. You can count them on your paper. And we'll say 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And how about football? 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. That's going to be interesting. How about basketball? 5, 10, 15, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. And baseball, 5, 10. Okay, so now I've kind of looked at the data. And so what would you put as the title of this? Probably favorite sport, right? I need to label this side as the number of votes because that's who put it in. I'm going to label this the types of sports. And my increments, my scale is going to be in 5s. So can you put a scale of 5 up the side? Now, I still need to label down here the types. So I know when I'm looking at it, which bar is for which sport. So I have soccer, football, basketball, and baseball. All right, so now let's start trying to figure this out. So soccer is 25. So I'm going to count up 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, right up to the top. So I'm going to make my color in all the way up to the top. But football has a little problem because it's 19. Well, let's try. 5, 10, 15, 20. If I go all the way up to the top, it'll be 25, or there I'm at 20 and I only need 19. So I can't go all the way up there, probably a little bit below it. So let's color it. Beautiful. Okay, a little bit under there because 19 is a little under. How about 24? Let's count. 5, 10, 15, 20. Ooh, if I go all the way up to there, that's 25. So I know I have to be a little under to make 24. Let's color up to there. Beautiful. And then baseball is 10. Let's count. 5, 10, and just color up to there. Wonderful. So now that I've made that, my graph, my bar graph, it asks me which statement is true. And the first one says baseball was the most chosen sport. The second one says baseball was the least chosen sport. Look at baseball. Is that the most chosen sport or the least chosen sport? Did you say baseball was the least chosen sport? Wonderful. Let's move on. So now this is on your own. A survey was made of favorite snacks. The results are in the table. So we have potato chips, pretzels, popcorn, tortilla chips. And so you need to decide, what is your title going to be? How are you going to label the two sides? And then what is your scale going to be? Are you going to do it by 1s, 2s, 5s, or 10s? And if you have some extra paper, you may try doing it in a couple of using different scales. And then you have 2 questions to ask. What snack was liked the most, and which snack was liked the least? Okay, so that's on your own. Now, our learning target today was I can represent data in a bar graph and interpret the data shown. And I think we've done a great job. And I would like you to watch the video that is linked here called Bad Lemonade Odd Squad. It's kind of funny, and you see how boys and girls use the scale to change the meaning of graphs. It's kind of silly. So have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll see you next time. Bye.